Yo, what's good, people? Welcome back to the
Sadly Relatable podcast.
You Back, baby.
Yeah.
That's probably the quickest one we've ever done,
Yeah.
ever. We just got
How
back
is
from
life?
a relaxing holiday.
We haven't. When did we go on holiday last?
Together. Oh my God, yeah.
Been like
Turkey.
6 years.
Literally. That's
That's
mad.
insane.
I felt like it's weird because the time that we were going on holidays together was the time where me and you would still argue and like think there'd be issues whilst on holiday together. But this time it was like all nice and smooth.
Yeah. Do you think that it was annoying going on holiday with me?
No.
Why are you hesitating?
Because I was the only guy there, so I felt a bit ganged up on a little bit. But other than that, it was alright.
Yeah.
It's one of the ones you just have to like, do you know what you got to do? What you got to do. I'm just here.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know how they say, like, you know people when you... Because it was mine and my friends, as in, okay, guys, we basically went to Cyprus for, like, 6 days. And we just got back, like, 2 days ago. And
if you can tell, look at this tan, boy.
We went with Ayob and his wife also came. And so did my best friend. And it was our first time going on holiday with each other. And before we went on it, we were like... Holidays test your friendship.
Mm-hmm.
They say like you only really know someone when you travel with them, when you live with them.
Was that the first time on holiday with your friend?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And we've been friends for like 10 years.
That's a bit crazy, but to be honest, that was a really smooth. That's probably the smoothest holiday I've had in the sense of like
everything.
Just so chill, nothing.
Yeah.
Like even the airport, everything. It was
like
mad.
it didn't feel. You know when you go on holiday, just everything feels so long. Like the packing, the traveling part, and then like
even the travel back is a bit I hate the most because I'm always just like but like I really enjoyed the flight. I enjoyed even going home. Everything like was just smooth, alhamdulillah.
The way I described it is that it felt like we just went to like Manchester or something. It was like
I think that's because Cyprus is very like English. There's a lot of English people there. The roads are like English road signs. They drive like they do on this side of the road. So it kind of felt like you went to a hot part of England.
But a very more beautiful part.
Yeah. Cyprus is actually amazing. I can't lie.
Guys, I went to Cyprus and I will tell you lot now that it is, I think, the best vibes. Like the best country I've visited. Not in the sense of like the most beautiful, but it was just the top up there with the best country or island I've ever been to.
I'll be honest, yeah. I really, really enjoyed it. I loved it. I would definitely want to go back. And I felt like it's very slept on. Like, how's no one else in our like age range really talking about it? Because I thought it was really nice. And the fact that it's just down the road and the flights were cheap.
Just down the road, it was a 5-hour flight.
But it's like quick. So what I was trying to explain to Nisrin is, because you're like, the vibes, it just feels like, but you don't understand that it's because of what we did. Like we were in the middle of nowhere with a villa and stuff like that, and we enjoyed ourselves to ourselves. Obviously, it was, and the country was quite quiet. Like there wasn't much going on.
Let me explain.
But you can get that vibe in other countries as well.
No, let me explain.
You can, trust me.
I'm sure you can. I just probably haven't visited them.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say to you is I'm very much a vibey person. And I don't know if this is like a thing, but the only example I can give you is when I'm looking for flats to live in, like I've viewed a lot of flats before, and the flats that I not knew I was going to live in, the flats I ended up picking are like, as soon as I walked in, I like got the vibe that this is the flat I'm going to choose or the one I'm going to live in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I just find it so funny.
Let me give you an example.
I can just sense it in the air.
No, it's just like a feeling. Like, for example, when I moved to where I recently lived in London, Northwest, there was 2 flats for me to pick from. And as in, I went and viewed 2 of them. And the second one I viewed, the rooms were like 4 times the size. And everyone said to me, and I was struggling with what one to pick, yeah? And everyone said to me, pick the other one. Like the rooms are literally 4 times the size of the rooms that I picked. And I was like, when I walked into the first one, even though the rooms are tiny, I just got the vibe that this is like good vibes. And then when I touched down in Cyprus, from the second the plane was like about to land, I just got good vibes. I don't know how to explain it to you lot. Like the second I got there touchdown in Cyprus, I was like, everything was 10 out of 10. I really did think I was going to face discrimination. Everyone was so nice and you don't expect it. Like, guys, I really, really recommend Cyprus. But Ayia Napa is obviously where everyone goes to party. We didn't go there. We went to like...
Paphos.
Yeah, Paphos.
We're just outside of it.
Yeah, which is like a very relaxed part. There wasn't a lot of people when we went, but it was the most beautiful experience, and I love Cyprus.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it as well, I can't lie. And I think, because I've been doing a lot of traveling, alhamdulillah, I feel like all the traveling I've been doing, it's been like every day busy. Like go do this, go see this, go that, like tourist vibes, or go to this, enjoy this museum, or do this, do that. But this was like the first holiday in a while where it was just like, just sit.
Where would you rank
in the sun?
Cyprus on like a scale, like, where would you rank it? What's the best place you visited?
It's hard to rank like this because
I mean,
some
overall,
places,
I know some people have this better and this
No,
better.
what I'm trying to say is that it's what I did on the holidays that make it better. Because I could have gone up to a beautiful country, but I did nothing. It was boring.
Okay, take that out of it. I mean, just in the sense of overall, not the things you've done, but like, let's say maybe living, or just like overall. Take away what you've done, but I just mean like overall, the countries in general.
Oh, that's hard. That's so hard. I'm trying to think.
Really?
Number one for me.
Like, where would you live?
I like Saudi.
Yeah, okay.
Saudi.
Okay, number 2.
Medina. That's like the best vibe. If you want to talk about vibes, and it's not even about the. Obviously, it's not even to do with aesthetics, even though it is nice there as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, because the Prophet peace be upon him is buried there, and you have a
Yeah.
mosque there. It's just a different type of tranquility. Like, you'll never find it anywhere else. I promise you.
All right, we get it.
No, but inshallah, you'll get to experience it.
Yeah. This is like the 4th time where he's like, it's just different. You won't understand. You will never understand.
No,
Like,
I'm saying you will, inshallah.
nah, inshallah. But okay, take away Saudi. You know, one says to you like, oh, you know, when someone says to you like, oh, like, what do you love most? And then like, someone's like, God. And like, we get that. Like, stop giving us generic answers.
That is the truth.
Okay, no, I know, I hear it, but
now
obviously,
you're talking about like different vibes, yeah. Like that's stuff out of it because it is going to be at the top. Okay, it's so hard for me to detach what I experienced. Like for me, one of my favorite holidays was going to New York and Canada because it was in the same holiday where I did the road trip from New York to Canada and then drove to Toronto. Like that to me was so like
would
everything.
you live there?
I don't know. Do you see, for me, all these countries that I really enjoy, it's hard for me to imagine me living there because of like the Muslim community or population that I didn't see, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So for me, like I don't feel this feeling of like I want to live here if I don't see that.
Like you don't feel included.
Yeah, in that sense. But I did really like Canada and like the drive there was beautiful. And I like Turkey as well, I can't lie.
I like Turkey.
Turkey's
like
Istanbul's like sick as well. I don't know. I don't think I can thing it.
That's insane.
Because like there's different things about different stuff. Like for example, I enjoyed Dubai, and I could see myself being there for a little bit, but I wouldn't want to be there forever because it doesn't have that nature aspect of what I love. But then being somewhere like Cyprus is cool. But then what about halal meat? And do you know what I mean? Like it's beautiful there. Yeah. It's just so hard. Like back and forth. There's so many different things, but there's so many things that I enjoyed about all of them.
Guys, comment down below your favorite country that you visited. And why? Because
I really want to visit. I think it's Pakistan. I've seen some videos on TikTok, and it just looks beautiful. Like the what's called nature is just.
You
mad.
should do it. Not gonna lie, you should like take a year off now.
Nishan just wants to stop filming the podcast.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I was just like done with social media. We'll get into that in a second. But you should take like a year off and just go to everywhere.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Like, I tell my Bengali friends.
I want to go to Bangladesh as well.
I've said to my Bengali, so Pakistan, I think is a bit more developed, right?
Obviously, I don't know, but I think maybe.
Obviously, there's certain areas in Bangladesh which are, but I'm saying like overall, in general, I do think Pakistan is a bit more developed, and like I think overall.
Yeah, potentially.
But I've said to my friends, because a lot of my friends are Bengali, and I've said to them, guys, I've been saying this for years, I'm like, take me to Bangladesh. Like, I want to go to Bangladesh.
The thing is, well, I'm actually 100% saying, because one of my best friends is Bangladeshi as well, and I want to go to Bangladesh, but I want to go to just where his village is.
Yeah,
take me to your family and that vibe. That's what I want to experience.
You know, apparently they like swim. They used to like, my friends when they were younger would shower in like a lake, and sometimes people like would use the lake water to shower. Like, I want to experience like the cultural
full thing, cultural
side of it. But my friends always say to me like, you wouldn't be able, like she said to me, unless you were to wear like a niqab, it wouldn't be safe for you to like go out in certain places or experience that site. Do you know what I mean? Because they can just tell that you're not from there.
Okay. I was thinking, what?
I really want to experience. I want to travel the world. I never wanted to, but I do now.
Yeah, I really want to travel as well, and I feel like it's quite crazy because I think. Do you think, as who you are and what you've experienced in life and you're traveling, would somewhere like Bangladesh, where maybe, like for example, my friend, his village, I don't think it's the most developed. But do
Do
you
you
think?
know whereabouts he's from?
No, I can't remember. But
Wow, I know all the villages. Silet and Dhaka.
oh no, there's Dhaka.
For
Yeah,
all my Bengalis.
I know about Dhaka. But
What do you mean Dhaka? Dhaka? I think that's how you say it. I don't know. I'm pretending.
but I've
Jagannath. That's another one.
okay, right. Are you
Yeah,
sure?
yes.
You're just waffling.
100%.
Okay, we have to take your word for it. Someone in the comments let us know if this is right. Yeah, so I think where his village is not the most like developed, but do you think something like that would give you culture shock, or do you think you'd be able to handle it?
No, I'd be able to. There's not much that could give me a culture shock when I've like experienced the cultural side of Morocco.
Yeah,
Like, sorry, Karen.
I think as well, because I was kind of explaining this to my wife, is because we were going to a certain country, and then
What, you don't want to say what country you went to?
anyway,
Don't say
yeah, I'm so
it, 'cause I know
confused
why
all
you don't
now.
want to say
Yeah, I
it.
don't even know why I'm like.
You didn't have to hide that. You went to
Yeah.
the country that she's from.
Yeah, I don't know
But
why.
they didn't know that. You could have just said the country. But
Yeah,
carry
it's
on.
not that deep, but who cares? Anyway, so I was trying to explain that I wouldn't get a culture shock in that environment because of Morocco has a similar environment. But the thing is, everyone now sees Morocco because it's quite developed and it has a lot of developed cities and it's like tourist attraction now. But we basically came from the mud, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like we were in.
Spayoun.
Yeah, we
like
were in
back
like
in the day.
the proper like far like
And
we
the Arabia
experienced-
area
yeah, the
as well.
Arabia. I proper like. I love Morocco. Like even the vibes of like when you're chilling and you just feel at home.
Yeah. Even the guy comes in the morning, "Hlop, hlop," like them
with
shouting.
and even the what's it called? The fruits. Forgot the prickly one.
Oh yeah, the one that comes off the cactus.
Yeah.
That slaps.
And you were saying culture shock. Damn, what was I gonna say?
Like, would you have? I don't know, because you haven't done that traveling like that in a while. Like,
Yeah, I haven't, right? And to be honest with you, maybe I would, and I feel like maybe I have been a bit westernized, right? Because obviously we used to go to Morocco every year as children, and then I stopped for a bit, and I tried to like go by myself every year, like without family holidays. And I remember the last time I went, I was just chilling at my like auntie's whatever, and then like one of my aunties just like proper slapped her kid, yeah. But she wasn't just like. She was probably like hitting him on his head like 3 times. But bearing in mind, this is like a 2-year-old. And obviously, I'm not going to lie, back in Morocco, that's a cultural thing that is very normal. Like people just hit their kids. And I was there like, oh my God.
did it like scare you?
Yeah. And I'm saying that's a culture shock, even though I've witnessed it when I was younger. Do you know what I mean?
It's realizing that at this age, like seeing it. And
She didn't like punch the kid, by the way. Obviously, the kid it wasn't enough to harm it, but it was like a 2-3-year-old walking, and it was just like proper like hitting, like stop being naughty, stop crying, like. And I was like, oh my, like, and I wanted to say something, and I was like, it's not. I don't know if it was my place to say, and I was
You
just
get
like,
the same slap.
Yeah, and I was just
down.
like looking after the child, but it was a bit of a culture shock, but yeah.
I remember one time I got slapped so hard, like in Morocco.
By who?
My dad.
Really?
Do you know why? Because one time, yeah, this story still annoys me so much, yeah, because like my cousin basically
Fight
set
him
me
then.
up. My cousin set me up for failure, but we were all sitting at my auntie's house, and they had like this plastic guitar hanging on top of the door, like this little like purple plastic guitar. You know, it didn't even make sense to have it there. I don't know why it was up there. And they weren't allowed to touch it. They must have got in trouble for touching it before. And all the adults left, and it was just the kids left in the house. And my cousin took it off the door and was playing it the whole time. Yeah, the one who lives there, it's his house. Probably knows they're not coming back. Blah, 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 playing with it, then left it out. My auntie gets back and she was like, "Who touched the guitar? Who took it down?" And he's like, "Ayub took it." And I was like, "No, I didn't." And but the thing is, she's one of those aunties. You know when they believe. When they believe their kids.
Stuck it on
No,
him.
she didn't back it.
I know who
She
you're talking
belie-
about.
Yeah.
She's my favorite.
I know. She's normally like she's
my favorite.
She's the one that normally holds it down. But for some reason that day she was literally like backing them. She was like, "Why'd you touch it? I know they wouldn't because I've been telling them like not to touch it."
Yeah.
And it was a setup because it was like they wouldn't touch it. She drilled it into them, so obviously it might have been me.
Yeah.
And we just kept going back, and I was so frustrated that she was believing him, and I was getting angry. And then I remember I swore at her in Arabic.
Oh, what did you say?
No, actually, I didn't swear in her Arabic. Sorry, first I did, but not straight away. Because I was raising my voice. The plastic guitar that she had in her hand, she slapped me over the head with it. It wasn't that hard, but it was like annoying.
Yeah.
She was like this, and it was really like and it like kind of hurts.
It stings. It stays. It stings.
Yeah, and then I called her Hamara, which is a donkey.
Oh, that's.
But to my auntie, that's messed up as a
That
little
is
kid.
bad. How old are you?
I was young, bro. And like I was crying and I was like basically swearing at her in Arabic and blah 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 blah. So then I like went and ran up to the stah, which is like the rooftop of the house, and I was stayed there the whole time crying. And I was like waiting for my dad to come home, and I was like, I'm gonna tell him what she did to me. Yeah. So
This is so sad. Don't.
in my head, I was like, I'm gonna tell my dad what she did. She's gonna get in trouble. Blah blah blah. My dad comes home. She gets to him first, tells him that obviously I've been swearing at her.
And you
and
went up
stuff
to him,
like
Dad. You know what I'm saying?
no, I swear. I swear. That's literally what happened. She got to him first, told him the story of what happened. And then when I saw him, I like ran up to him and I was already in like tears. And I was like, she done this to me. He just went, bah, like slapped me around my face. And I was like, and it was like,
spat.
sorry. That's the emotions coming back. Anyway, and I was like, my face went red and I just started crying. Then I like ran out the house. And I was like running away, but I realized I'm in Morocco.
I don't have my passport.
Yeah, and I started running and I found this donkey on the side of the street and I just sat with him for a bit.
He was like, that's your sister, the Hamara. You see what your sister does? Yeah, no, I really like.
But that's the only time my dad's ever actually hit me.
I'm glad that we got to experience like Morocco as like not just touristy. Like we got to experience Morocco, how people
Like
live
culture.
in Morocco. Yeah,
Yeah,
when we were
yeah.
younger, like every year. That's one thing I do appreciate because I do love my culture and stuff.
Yeah.
What was I going to say?
Have you ever? What's the weirdest thing that's happened to you on a not weirdest? What's the craziest, scariest, weirdest thing that's ever happened to you on like a plane?
Oh, on a plane?
Mm-hmm.
Not much. Like, I like turbulence. Like, I really find it fun.
I don't like turbulence.
I think I'm a bit of a weirdo because like there's people like ah,
we were
and
on
I'm
a plane. I heard this and go wee.
No, I actually I don't know if that's weird, but I just think it's fun.
Because
I'm like, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. I might as well just like not be crying and screaming at the end of it. I'm like, it's
She was like them people that don't want to give anyone the ick. Like, the plane's crashing. Yeah, you saying you good? Yeah.
Have you seen that TikTok? When
the burning house one.
No, when there's an earthquake, but you don't want to give it the ick, and it's like.
I saw one when it was a burning house, and there was people outside the house watching him, and he's in the window, and he's like this, and the house is on fire, and they're all like screaming. He's like, it's kind of hot in here. Like he's like acting like really cool about it.
I saw that.
It
Why
was
don't you
very
send me
funny.
them?
You don't watch my TikToks.
I do sometimes.
You watch one in like the last month.
Once a month,
probably.
I'll go and scroll through it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the craziest thing that's happened to me on a plane was I think I was on the way to Dubai and I was sitting window seat and the woman next to me had a seizure.
Oh damn.
Yeah, but because obviously we're quite experienced with that because of someone in our family who deals with the same thing, is she started having a seizure, but no one noticed it. So it was just me and her. She started having the seizure and like falling onto me, and I like had to like. But luckily, I know what I'm doing in that situation, and I was also a qualified first aider.
What? When?
A young qualified first aider. This is in secondary school. Probably expired ages ago, but I still learned a bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I pulled her head back. Stop. No, I'm joking. I helped. I helped.
Start giving her CPR. She was like, "What are you doing?" I just fell asleep.
Yeah, and I called an assistant. But this is how crazy it got because. It wasn't a crazy seizure. There's like different levels. Some people have like very like almost like a fit. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they like with their
some people just like sleep.
And their muscles go off, and then some people they're just shaking and then they'll foam at the mouth a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that's the one that I clocked on because I'm used to seeing that.
Yeah.
So she started foaming and like tends to season up. So then I called in a flight attendant, and then all of a sudden the person that's sitting next to her notices it. And then just whips out a stethoscope, whatever it's called. It's a doctor.
Oh, it's a doctor.
I was like, what is this situation? She got a first aider and a doctor now.
First aider, you've done it in year 2.
Literally.
He learnt the, what's it called?
Heimlich maneuver.
No, you know when they say the recovery position?
That's literally all I can remember.
Oh my god.
But that is helpful for
seizures. But you
can't
can't be claiming you're a first aider, bruv, when you just know how to put people in a recovery position. Furthermore, you're on a plane, so like, what recovery position?
I'm like, just put your leg like this, and she's like sitting down. No,
I think doctors on planes is the best thing ever.
Literally, she pulled out this.
Is there a doctor in here?
Yeah,
yes, I'm a doctor. I bet she didn't even need to bring that stethoscope with her. She'd been praying for that moment her whole life.
That is what I was a bit confused of. She whipped it out of nowhere and put it on the girl's having a seizure. She put it on her chest, started listening.
Doctors are so cool. Imagine just being able.
It's almost like being a superhero, isn't it?
Yeah, like imagine just being like just knowing.
It reminds me of the scene from The Good Doctor where the kid is having like a breathing problem.
Yeah, and he
And
like tells what's wrong with
yeah,
it.
yeah, but they're all like, who is this guy type thing?
Yeah.
But he like saves his life. That's so cool.
I've been watching Grey's Anatomy, so if you need any help, then
Grey's Anatomy is a bit of a weird show, bro. I can't lie.
yeah, I think it's yeah. Like now, anytime I go to docs, I'm gonna be like, are you lot all sleeping with each other? Like when I see like the doctors and nurses, like what's going on here?
That would have been shit down on the same. But yeah, that was a bit crazy on the flight. But it made me realise, I've noticed, because of my childhood and how I grew up, I'm a bit like, when I see something happen, my instinct to be like, I know what to do here, and I want to jump in and help.
That's mad. I'm the opposite. You know, I run away.
Really?
Ayob, I'm glad, Allahumma barik for you being like that, because when I first, no, carry on your story, but I probably might forget. But
No, I want to hear this.
When I first got Lychee, about a week in, I bought her a new collar, and I just had it on her just because it looked cute. And luckily I was with my friend, but the collar, she somehow got the collar stuck in her mouth. Like, she was like a little kitten, like very, like size of my hand. She got the collar stuck in her mouth, and it was the most traumatic thing, Ayob, seeing a cat. No, she's in pain.
Oh, no.
She's like, and her mouth's open, and she was screaming and crying and like yeah, like as a little kitten. And I was like basically screaming and panicking, and I tried to take the collar off, and then as soon as I couldn't, I literally just ran away. And That's so bad. No, only because my friend was there, and I was like, and my friend like quickly took it over and was trying to get it off her, which I rate my friend for that. Wallah, guys, I ran into my bedroom and shut the door, and I was like, this, and then she sorted it out. But I couldn't bear seeing something that I love in pain.
That's weak.
I know.
I'm very much like, I feel, this one thing I do feel like I'm quite happy about the type of person I am, but when something is happening like that, whether it's like you have to be quick thinking or like it's a panicky moment, I don't like fold under that pressure. I'm very much like, I can stay composed and like, all right, let's try fix it, instead of being like, oh no.
Well, I'd hope so. If you ran off in the room and shut it and started crying, I would be a bit concerned.
Imagine, no.
That's why I rate my friend, because she was like, Nishan, calm down. And I was like, what do you mean calm down? Like,
but that's weird, because we had like a similar upbringing. Like, for people that don't know, our mum was unwell, so like we had to be young carers.
Yeah.
And that's actually weird, because I didn't actually...
We've never spoke about that.
I've never spoken about
I used to find
this.
it so cringe.
Do you know what? Let me say it here, because I've never actually spoken about it, but people ask me where Kayla Kasha came from, yeah? And I've never said this, but I'll say it now, because people know anyway, in the sense of the backstory.
No, don't say the full last name, though.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying why I ended up giving myself a name in general,
okay.
Anyway. So the reason I didn't just come to social media with Ayub is because when I was younger, obviously, my mum is disabled, so she's been unwell for the majority of our life, and we grew up as young carers and taking care of her and stuff like that. And my mum enrolled me into this not competition, but like they were giving out awards for young carers, for people that are exceptional,
like that have done, like, yeah,
taking care of their parents and been through a lot of stuff in life and whatever, because they wanted to like give back to the people in that situation. And they came to the house and they wrote a whole news article on me, taking care of my mom and everything that I've done for her and stuff like that. And like used my picture and stuff like that. And it was all like cool at first. She told her whole life story, and it was quite in detail. Like they written down everything that she went through, everything that we went through.
Wait, maybe are we saying, is it still out there?
No, it's not.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying this.
Are you sure?
Yeah, this is why I'm saying
Ayob, they dig.
No, I'm telling you, even if they did, we've basically said everything that...
Oh, okay.
We've literally mentioned everything she's been through anyway.
Yeah.
That's why I'm okay. I've read the article like a million times.
How, if it's not on
because I hated it. Like, that's the whole point of my story. Anyway, so she went through a lot of stuff in her life and ended up unwell, and we were young carers taking care of her. They wrote an article, and then what they did was they put that article on a website, and I didn't know that it was on a website. And then one day in college, my best friend like called me, and he was like, "Oh, Ayub," like, because they were all in class searching all their friends' names up, and it came up with me. And then they saw that, and no one knew, because I used to like not tell anyone about my situation at home.
Yeah.
And he like called me and asked, like, he was just, "Oh, I hope you're okay. Like, I saw this. I didn't know you were going through all this type of stuff."
It was like, who told you?
yeah. I was so stressed. I was like, what? And then since then, I lived with this like stress of like and the thing is, it was so in detail that anyone could click on it and know my life. Like you want to keep that information and that stuff you've been through as like personal. Like, maybe I'll tell a friend.
Yeah, that's like deep.
Once we've reached a certain level, I might tell you about stuff. But I'm very much want the ability to keep that to myself, but it was on this website for like everyone to see, and it's a bit sad because I saw it such a negative thing, but it was very like positive thing that highlighted things that people go through, and like if anything, I'm more proud of it now thinking about that, and I would want to share that with people.
Yeah,
and
we
if
never
anyone's
really
going
touched
through
on
it,
this. If there is any younger audiences that are in similar position, let us know. I'd love to do like some sort of
segment on that.
not
Maybe
even just segments, something for young carers and stuff like that. You know, people who parents are unwell and things like that. Because
yeah, definitely. But for me, it was once I realized it was on the website, I was so stressed out. But I was also on Vine, and I really I knew I wanted to do social media from then. Like I was 16 years old, whatever. I was like, I'm doing social media, and it first started off with calling the guy. So this had already been on there for years. We called the guy thinking the guy who owned the website, hopefully he would take it down because it's an old website. There's no point of it being up. It happened years ago. And the guy was so rude. The same guy did the interview. He was like, how do I know this is you? And I'm like, why would someone else call to take this down? Like, this is me. You did it when
maybe it's the dad that you're speaking shit about.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm 18 now. I wasn't 18 at the time. You put it up without my consent type thing. And it just wouldn't. They didn't want to do it. They didn't want to get rid of it. And it was so stressful. But then that's when I created the name Kalo from my last name and my mother's maiden name mixed together, because I was like, if I'm going to go on social media, I don't want people to know my full name and just find it straight away. But then luckily years later, just before TikTok started, because I'd always every few months search my name and just see if it's still there, because it's just stressed me out. He must have just taken it down, or it expired, like the URL expired and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, I can go about my life peacefully now.
I really want to read it. Do you not have like a screenshot or something?
I might have it somewhere.
A screen munch.
I've got a picture of the news article. Yeah, literally. But do you know what's crazy?
Of it on your phone?
Not on my phone, but I know where I can get it. The thing is, it's such
I'm
a
gonna
weird.
write this down.
It's such a weird experience because I was so ashamed of it, Nisrin, and I was so embarrassed.
I am listening, by the way.
I was so embarrassed that people would know that I had been through something, because I had this complex of really believing that everyone else's life was good.
Perfect, yeah.
And that only my life was this massive, crazy mess that was going. Like, I genuinely used to go to college or go to school and then see everyone and think none of these people have got to deal with anything. They're just living happily, and then my family's the weird family. We're the ones that are going through all these issues.
I used to get so, like, it's so weird to say that I used to get embarrassed that my mum was unwell.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? That is so, like, but exactly what you had, I was the same. Like, it's just, I don't know why it felt embarrassing.
To the point where I didn't invite any of my friends to my house. Like, you were okay with that. You used to always bring friends. I never invited my friends to my house until like one time just before we moved. But I used to always go to theirs, but I'd never invite them to mine because I just felt like really embarrassed and stuff like that. But then, as we grew older, I started realizing that it's not embarrassing at all. And then we started the podcast, and then we started speaking about certain things and opening up about stuff we've been through. And I realized how many people are going through the same thing, who this story helps them because they're going through it. But yeah, I just wanted to say, if you are a young carer and there's a lot of pressure on your back, because trust me, like, I've grown up understanding what it's like having responsibilities from a young age. Like, how am I like a young kid and I've got to iron, wash my own clothes, do all these things? Like, I do think it benefited me, to be honest. I feel like it helped me mature a lot quicker and like be more responsible. But it's also a lot of pressure to deal with at a young age. So we feel you, understand you, and things do get better, trust me.
And maybe this is a sign to, if you do feel maybe, I don't know if this changed this day and age, if you do feel the feeling of like embarrassment, to just not like, just don't. No, I'm joking. I mean, like, to just realize that, again, you're not alone. Like, so many people have to have unwell parents. And I know, like, the norm is like, you know, the dad's out working while the mum's at home, like, cleaning, and honey, your ironing's done. And it's, when you're not in that, it's kind of like, you feel like, why not? And I'm embarrassed. But just know that, I promise you, the amount of people that are like that is probably way less than the amount of people that aren't. So if anything, they're the weird ones.
No.
People with functional families, technically, if we look at, they're the weird ones. So.
Nah. No, none of them are weird, but...
All right, hey, you're...
Me just playing super
No,
like,
anyone's...
Both sides are good. Nah, but on the real...
That got us into a mess before. Stop that.
Oh, yeah. No, listen. Honestly, I think you'll be surprised at how many people are dealing with certain situations at home. And even just for the same thing, like I think it's the dynamic that we had changed so much. like, because we went from having a mum that was fully like functional in the sense of cooking, doing everything, to like things flipping on its head.
Yeah.
And it was quite a lot of pressure, to be honest. But I think, alhamdulillah, we got through it, and like life is so much better now. So alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Obviously, our mum's still very unwell,
Mm.
and she just had surgery like not long ago. But I think, alhamdulillah,
Yeah.
things like level out.
They do.
Speaking of mums.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's certain things you inherit from your mum and certain things you inherit from your dad.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Yeah, I assumed it. I
So,
don't know it to be fact, but I can assume that is what would happen.
yeah. So genetic, what we inherit from our parents, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So these are genetic traits that are passed from the mother are intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
not bad. Immune system strength, we're pissed. Colour vision, pretty good.
I'm done.
This next one, shout out to my mum. Mental health traits.
The thing is, that's actually a bit crazy. That
And number 5, smile.
Oh, that is cute. So that's all from the mother.
Yep.
But is it 100% you'll get that from your mother, or is it like it can be mixed?
I don't know, just said that's what's passed down from the mother.
So you'll get some of them maybe.
No, I think they're the things that are from the mum.
No, but like some people have the same smile as their dad.
No, I hear, but maybe it's not everyone inherits it from their, I don't know.
Maybe it's just these are the things that are likely to be inherited.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy that like you can inherit that stress. One thing that I've learned, stress, which is such a weird concept because it's just your body going into like fight or flight, but it can literally destroy you.
It can kill you.
And that's basically what trauma is. And that can be passed on through to your children, which is so like scary to think of.
You know what I think is even more scarier is the fact that a lot of people that you see with autoimmune diseases, so our mum's got like a few autoimmune diseases, and I'm sure there's people watching this whose parents might have autoimmune
Or even
diseases.
themselves.
Or even yourselves.
What's one? She's got Addison's, right?
She's got Addison, she's got like fibromyalgia, she's got like not just one, she's got quite a lot of autoimmune diseases.
Mm-hmm.
And fun fact, it's not really very fun actually, sorry. I think the level of women who have gone through domestic abuse, like, is the percentage is so much higher. Like, you're more likely to get and develop an autoimmune disease later in life if you've gone through domestic violence or been like in an abusive relationship. That's or so things sad. Like that. So I guess that is from stress. Like, if you're dealing with that amount of stress, maybe your body's in fight or flight, and then as the years go by, it just that's what exactly. So that's why I say everything is men's faults.
But then
obviously the reverse can be true, but it's like most women with autoimmune diseases.
Well. But yeah, so that scares me. Do you know why? Because I feel like I'm quite a stressed individual. So like, do you think that could affect my children? Like, do I need to like maybe say I want a plan to start having kids, figure out a way to be like less stressed and take certain practices in, whether it's like stretching and doing all that kind of stuff?
You just asked me the most stupidest question. Do you think that before I have kids, I should be a better person? Like, I should be not on edge 24/7. Like, I should find ways to control my anxiety.
Yeah.
Of course, I think you should.
Yeah, that was the dumbest question ever.
No, it's not done, but
I'm just scared.
I said that was the most stupid question.
But is the damage already done? That's what I'm trying to say.
Speaking of kids and mental health, I feel like people should have. I feel like if you get pregnant, you have to have a course. Like, you know how they make you take a speeding like course if you get points. Like, let's say you speed. I think, and I really believe that if you get pregnant, you have to do like an obligatory
like parent training. Yeah,
like course, and like
I
also go through like assessments.
Yeah,
and, like, do you know what I mean? I
think 100% I agree with you. And also not just that, like almost like a safety course as well on how to deal with like if your child's choking. Probably is a thing that they do.
But I mean like obligatory.
Yeah, like you have to do it.
Yeah.
That's so true. Like, you're bringing the whole humans to this world. We have to learn how to drive, but you don't learn to like take care of a whole human. What the hell? That is a bit crazy.
Like, to be fair, I do hear what people are saying when like, for example, back in the day, there was a trend now on TikTok where it was like, me like making sure that my child's strapped in the seat like proper well and the most expensive like baby seat, and it was like me in a baby seat and they're like completely like chilling. Like,
Oh yeah,
I do think like things have worked back in the day as well. Do you know what I mean? Like certain things, but I think that's what maybe has led to certain like toxic traits that maybe the older generation have.
Oh yeah, I get you. I'm not lying to you. I'm bare. Like as much as I want kids, it scares the hell out of me. Like the idea of having this child, and, like anything can go wrong, and I just feel like I'm gonna be on edge all the time. Do you know what I mean? Like, is it breathing? Is it this? Is it that? Like, it's gonna be stressful, man. But I will get through it, inshallah. And then not just that, I saw this video, and I know 100% when I have a child, I'm gonna get this. It's this like suction cup thing for when they choke.
It's not just for children, you know. I wanted to buy it recently, but it's like £70.
I don't care, I'll get it. Especially when I have a kid, because I've seen so many videos of it saving children, and they could just choke on anything, and it just made me have this reality that like you can just have a kid, you'll be in the safest environment ever, and they could just choke on something. That's
by the way, trigger warning. Sorry. Oh yeah, sorry. I just realised. If for anyone, trigger warning, but we can't say the trigger warning afterwards. Maybe write on the screen.
Yeah, I'll try.
Because this is a subject that
it could potentially, is
very triggering. The baby choking thing, I've seen like it saves hundreds of lives like a day in America. It's called the life vac.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Something like that.
The reason I looked into it is because I was by myself in my flat and I was like, anything could happen to me and I'd be pissed. Like, imagine I'm not near my phone. I literally activated Siri because I was like, imagine I can't reach my phone because I didn't have Siri on. Like, I'd just be there, like, just pissed.
I didn't think about it. Do you think Siri saved lives?
Sure, maybe. Like, Siri call... Like, imagine you can't access your phone.
Imagine it's been worse. You're like trapped underneath something that's falling on top of you, and you're like, Siri, call 911. Okay, playing 911.
Somebody call 911. Shawty got it
Do you know what's so funny? We
both had the same day.
And like you're there, like about to like pass out, and all you hear is that'd be so scary.
Do you think that's ever happened? No.
Potentially.
But yeah, the life vac, I think it's a good idea, but I think guys, if you are going to go buy it now after this, be careful because there's a lot of fake ones out there. So if you get it, I think get it from the actual life vac website.
Don't
they
cheap
have
out
different
on that one.
Yeah, don't. There's different sizes for like babies, but even if it's not just for children, like every day for adults, if you live alone, I think that's one to have.
I might get one and just have it in the house.
Yeah. Also, what I think is really cool now that they've got is like these little baby monitors that like it's like a sock that the baby wears, and then if anything goes down or like on the baby's observations, like you'll have a little thing on your room and it will like beep an alarm.
And it goes like a certain color or something like that.
Yeah.
That's sick. But like I also, like you said a minute ago, that's really good. But then like back in the day, bro, they just have a kid whip it in a
start
headscarf.
Slapping their heads at 2 years old.
Whip it in a headscarf, put it on their back in Morocco, and you're just there chilling. They didn't need a technology to tell you whether it's okay or not. But I guess it's still
and then now they're sat on podcast depressed and not happy.
Anyway, guys, thank you a lot for tuning in for this episode. Nishan is a straight crack fiend, and I like to talk a lot of crap. But you lot here, you guys enjoy it. We need to like. What we done, bro? We got rid of the cool segment, which was actually bare fun, and like used to uplift us all the time. And then even the shout of the week we stopped doing. That's a bit of a violation. We need to get back on that, guys. I think what we'll do is cool segment. If you're part of the Patreon, guys, DM us on Patreon because there is a messaging option. So hopefully you can message us on Patreon your number, and people who are part of the Patreon, you'll be able to jump on the cool segment, and then we'll start doing. That's disgusting. You better clean up. And we'll start doing the shout out of the week as well. So get your comments in.
Okay, next episode we're going to do shout out of the week. So if you want to potentially be the shout out of the week next week, comment down below, guys.
Yes.
We love you so much.
We love you forever. Nishan, where can I find you?
You can find me. I feel like I want to say crying on my pillow again.
Nah, you got it. Don't manifest it. Go.
You can find me sitting right here.
That was dead. Go.
You can find me at It's Nisrin on Instagram and TikTok.
You can find me at Kayla Cash on all social media platforms. Don't forget to check us out on Patreon, where you can get an extra episode every Wednesday.
That's like £1 an episode, unless you like want to be a supporter and you can, and then you want to do the other tier. Then that's like, come on, guys, just do it.
And trust me, guys, you're gonna want to join the Patreon because everyone on the Patreon gets early access to a lot of things that are coming soon. But yeah, we will see you lot on the Patreon. If not, next week. We love you all. Peace.
Bye.